Welcome back to Vlogmas Day 3. Today I am creating a Sugar Plum Fairy makeup look. I am super inspired by all of the winter trends and makeup and outfits that I'm excited to wear. And this was on the top of my list. Last year I did a cold girl makeup look, but this year I want it a little bit more whimsical and a little lighter and fresh. If you want to see how I got this look, keep on watching. My name is Lexi and this is Beyond the Mirror. Starting with the base, I want to keep it as light as a fairy, so I want to go for brightening and sheer kind of look. To start, I'm using my Ulta Inner Glow Illuminator lotion. It's pretty much a highlighter, but in kind of like a sheer formula. I'm just going to take this and kind of put it on the points I want the most brightness. I'm going to do a little bit more because I want to go all out with this look. I'm not going to tone it down at all. I want it very whimsical, cute, and pink. And how I'm choosing where to apply this, I'm kind of just looking where the light hits me and then just blending it out and tapping it out there. Keeping the foundation light, I'm using my Covergirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence. This is the shade 20. It's a little too light for me, but that's okay. I think it will work perfectly for this look. And I just blend it in my fingers like this, warm it up, and burst those little pigment beads so it looks like this. And then I just work one section at a time to blend. And I really work it into the skin because I find if I don't blend enough, it kind of sits on top and I hate it later. This one does set down a little bit. To make certain areas of the face really pop, I'm going to go in with a concealer and eye brightener. Today I'm using the Fenty Beauty Bright Fix in Melon and the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in 010. I'm going to go in with the concealer first and just apply it to my regular areas. I'm just going to do one side first so you can see the difference that this brightener makes. I really like it for this purpose. I'm really happy with how bright that got the center of my face. I'm going to use a pink brightening powder as well, but before that I do want to go in with my cream blush. Make sure that that's how I want it to be. If I need to correct it with more concealer, I can. Then I would go in with my powder. For blush, I just envision this really bright, light pink. I kind of have that. This is the most brightest pink I have. It is the Rare Beauty Liquid Blush in Happy. And it is kind of a cool baby pink, but I find it a little too deep for what I want this look to be. So I have some white pigment I'm going to try and mix with it to see if I can get it lighter than what it is currently. I was envisioning this kind of baby pink, but I don't have that. So I'm putting the smallest amount on my hand just to see if I can get it down with that white pigment. Okay, so I think I made it. It is so light. But I'm going to test that out and then I might need to make more. I really want this to be an icy flush, kind of a winter cold and ethereal look. Yeah, I don't know if you can see, that blush is barely showing up. So maybe just a little bit more pink. And then I think if I have a lot more on my hand, I can blend it better. I think that is a perfect dupe for my sweater color. It is so cute. I feel like I want to layer this some more because it's just not showing up as much as I want. It's slightly there, but it looks like slightly blushing. I want it the cold cheeks, almost cold girl, but not red. So I'm just going to make a little bit more and layer that on top. Now I just want to add a little bit of contour because I feel like this look is getting a little too light. Today I'm using my Makeup by Maro Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick in the shade Fair. I'm actually going to mix it right on top of this pink because I feel like some of the rosiness could actually be used as a contour. So I'm just going to mix those together, what's remaining. I ran out of my combo, so I'm just using the stick up here. And I'm just taking some of my e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. The base looks super cute. And just to finish, I want to add a little bit of this highlighter. This is also from Fenty and it's the Killawatt Whatabrat. I feel like this one is just a little too much for me to wear in everyday life. A little too whimsical, but I think it is so perfect for today's look. I'm just going to take a little bit on my finger and try and do a sporadic type of highlighter look. I'm trying to aim on top of that illuminator I put in the base. For the eyes, I want a soft glam, but with a fairy twist. I'm starting off with a cool taupe shade. This is from the Nomad Polar Express palette, and the shade I'm using is Nougat Candy, and I'm just going to work this into the crease. Next, I'm taking my Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette, and I want to deepen it up just a little bit. So I'm using Stone, which is just a slightly deeper, cool-toned taupe shade. With this, I'm going to work on the outer crease and then blend it in. And then once I'm happy with the blend, I'm just going to kind of flick it out. I'm going to go slightly deeper back into the Nomad palette using Dark Forest. Going back with my previous brush to blend everything out. The part I'm most excited for is using a white matte in the inner corner. So I'm using the Nomad Snowy Mountain. And the embossings on these are so pretty. I don't want to mess them up. I'm going to really pack this one in. But look how much pigment that is. And I didn't even use an eyeshadow base. And then going back with Nougat Candy again, just to make sure everything is finally blended. And then I'm taking a little bit of all aboard and I'm going to tap that kind of sporadically. I don't want it stuck in one spot. But it's just very ethereal looking. To finish this look, I want to go kind of leaning more into the neutral, but still pink. To line my lips, I'm using the NYX Lip Lingerie in Barely There. I love these lip liners. They're really, really good. And honestly, like, I hope they come out with more colors because this is a dupe for the Huda ones. Really, the tip is the only different part, but I just feel like this lasts longer, not only on the lips, I feel like I can get more product out, and how much is in here. You get a little bit more work time with them. I like to kind of line where I'm going, and then tap it up. I do feel like the pigment builds up pretty quickly, so just be careful. I know that looks a little crazy, but once you have the final touches, it all comes together. For the center of my lips, I'm using the Covergirl Clean Fresh, and the shade is Into the Blur. Kind of gives me Glossier vibes into the gloss. But I'm just going to do a little bit and tap it out. Here is the final look. I am so excited to wear this look out. I love all the pinks that came together. I think I went a little too white and maybe a little too smoky for the eye. Low-key with the pink, it's kind of a vibe. So let me know what you think. I want to hear any other Christmas idea makeup looks that you have in mind, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.